But hey everybody, welcome to Real Talk. My name is JoAnn Batteiger. I'm the Director of Student Ministries, but I'm also our Upward Basketball League Director. And I'm really excited because Mallory Hopper is not only our Children's Ministry Director, but she's our Hospitality Coordinator. And so this week we wanted to talk to you about how much we love Duke basketball. Haha, just kidding. But now that we have your attention, we wanted to take a minute and talk to you about one of our ministries of Herndon Methodist Church and Upward Basketball. It's a really fun program that we've been doing for long since before I've been here, and I think long since before you've been here, right? And so it is coming up very quickly and very soon, and so we want to tell you a little bit about it. We could tell you the logistical information, and that's all fine, well and good. We'll include that in the comments section below, but we wanted to take a quick minute and talk to you about some of the moments that mattered, some of the stories from our time with working with Upward last season, and just to share a little bit about that, because I think there's something so powerful about being able to share our stories and experiences, because honestly, if you talk to either one of us one-on-one, we have plenty of stories. Oh, yeah. Plenty of stories and plenty of shenanigans. And so yeah, we're really glad that you're here, we're glad that you're watching, and so Mallory, I'm going to have you start. And I want you to answer the question, what is your moment that mattered during our Upward season last year?
Okay, so part of my job was to head hospitality last year. So that included, folks visiting people as they came in through, players, families, all that good stuff. But it also included like the extras, as I would call them. So things like scoreboard, things like concessions, or at least I will be this year. Things like, making sure that there's a good atmosphere in the gym with music and that kind of thing, making sure that the mics were on, all that good stuff. And so one of the joys that I had was coordinating who would run the scoreboards every week. And we had this wonderful family who I will not name by name because they have not given me consent to do so. But this family has 3 different players that have come up through the program. And I believe the middle child, he was a 6th grader last year. And his younger brother was, I think, a 1st grader last year, 1st or 2nd grader. Excuse me. Anyway. So the middle child would come and he would run the scoreboard during his brother's game. And it was just so awesome to see him like cheering on his baby brother the whole time and just encouraging him from the scoreboard. Come on, pass the ball, little bro. You got this. You got this. Keep going. Get up. Keep running. Go. Charge, charge, charge. And it was just so much fun watching him cheer on his brother. But it was also really awesome to see him working with one of our current students from Herndon UMC. They would typically run scoreboards at the same time. And just seeing them joke around and seeing them really get to know each other in an environment where they might not have otherwise have met was really, really wonderful just to kind of see crystallize before me. It was a real joy to have that family, and I'm excited to see them again this year. Both of them actually. So what about you? Moment that mattered.
Wow. There are so many because there's so much that happens behind the scenes that most that it's like, oh, it all passes so quickly. I think I actually have 2. The first is the last game of the season, and it's the last game, so all of our coaches are like, everyone's just in a really great mood. I mean, they're not in a great mood because things are over, first of all. They're in a great mood because it's, we've been celebrating and watching our kids, grow in their basketball skills and learn how to do things that they couldn't do like 8 weeks prior. And I think for me, one of the moments that mattered was, I think after every game, 1 or 2 coaches would come up to me and tell me about their kids who had made their first basket for the first time. And to reflect and see, like, watching coaches from the sidelines, like, just erupt in joy because they're like, yes, this kid, I've been working on it for so long and they finally made it. It's like, that's the stuff, like, that's the stuff. And the other moment that mattered, I may have joked with some folks about, kindergartners playing basketball is like control chaos of little amoebas who are learning how to play the game, and so a lot of your coaches, they're the on-court refs, and so they're helping guide people. And if you have a kindergartner or had a kindergartner or love a kindergartner, you know that sometimes it takes a little bit of repetition to learn things, and so I think one of the games early on, somebody on one girl on one of the teams caught the ball, and she just shrieked with delight, and she was like, ah! And she just started running up the court, no dribble, just, I have the ball and I'm gonna go. Then she made the basket, and I was like, you know what? Yes.
Sure. Why not?
Why not? And I, like, that is something that I think I often forget as, like, an adult, or like a, quasi-adult. I'm still figuring that out, but I find that so often, like, particularly as we were getting all these things started, and it's all the mechanics and all these really, really important things, that I forgot that there's joy. Like, that is such a joy-filled space that Upward offers, and it was just nice to be able to take a moment and be like, oh yeah, that's why we do it. That's why we do it. And I think she was also one of the kids who ended up scoring another basket at the end, and I think she also screamed with delight at the same time. And so that's what I often think about, like, Upward is just, it's so joy-filled, and it's really fun, and it's really, I think that's just really...
There's an energy
really
in the
cool.
room that's really, really palpable. Like, I say all the time, as a theater person, like, your job as a storyteller is to kind of move the molecules in the room.
Yeah.
And there is so much that happens in that room with so many different moving parts and so many different people that are making this game day and this league happen. Like, they are moving molecules in the air to the point where, like, you walk out of that room at the end of the day and you're like, ha!
I'm so excited. Yeah, well, and then all that energy, one of the cool things that all that energy transferred into when we did Godspell this summer, I know Melissa and I were kind of collaborating on just the outreach pieces, but sending an email out to our Upward families, and then having, like, over half our cast having been involved with Upward in some way, and really loving that because of the community that we've cultivated and created, and are creating. It's always ongoing. I'm like, that's the stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just
it's a touch point that then, like, builds into a foundation of connection that I love so much, you know?
And I think, so much of our work, again, we think it's always, oh, we're providing this, we're providing that, but really we are creating space for connection and for building relationships, for our students at Herndon UMC to connect with students who they wouldn't otherwise be at a scoreboard with. And I think that, to me, is what I love most about Upward. I don't know if that's also what you love about Upward.
Yeah, I was thinking about, our time recording today, and I was thinking about, like, the different buzzwords that you hear in worship, but I feel like something that Jonathan Page has touched on really eloquently in some of his sermons recently is this idea of a thin space. And I feel like it's really awesome to experience those thin places, especially when they do not happen in a sanctuary. There's something really worshipful that happens in a gym with all of those incredible kids and their families. It's a delight to experience.
Yeah. And I think that connects well to our mission as the church, is to serve and share God's love and community. And so this is a really fun way that we get to do that really tangibly, that we get to create worship-filled spaces and create spaces for connection and for engagement and outreach in a way that is mutually beneficial and sustaining, and just really awesome. And so I'm going to invite us, if you're watching this and you're like, wow, I want to be part of that, this is my shameless plug to say, please let us know. Because we'd love for you to be part of the Upward story. We'd love for you to be part of the Herndon UMC, part of this really great Herndon UMC fabric that has been created long since before I've been here, and will be here long after I'm gone, which I'm not, for the record, I'm not going anywhere. But it's a testament to the fact that we are constantly building on what others have done before us and helping to cultivate and put our own spin on that. And I think that I think is life and faith, like, that's when we talk about thin places. 1,000+ years ago, the Desert Mothers and Fathers had that, and here we are cultivating that through basketball, and here we will be doing that in some other expression moving forward. And I think that's just really, really great. So anyways, we'll put the logistical information in the comments, but one of our last things that I always like to ask people is if you, and I'm going to ask Mallory this and then I'll answer. Mallory, how would you describe Upward in 3 words or less? And I hope you don't take mine, because
oh no,
our mind Mallory
we do have a good mind. Let's see. I would say energy. I would say Oh, I should have thought about this question a little bit more because there are so many different words. But energy, I would say a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of magic.
Yeah.
That is created just through so many people gathered together for the purpose of playing the beautiful game.
Beautiful game of basketball.
All for the Lord.
All for the Lord. I think I would describe Upward as joyful chaos. And so, hope that you'll be part of it this season in some way, shape, or form. As always, have a fabulous week. It is Wednesday. It's a little bit rainy, but it's always warm and sunny here. And we hope to see you on Sunday. Bye, all.
Bye.